Hello students, today we are going to start with the third lesson, the acid-base chemistry. Now what does the name of the lesson suggest? The name of the lesson is suggesting us that we are going to study about the chemicals which are acids and bases. And this acid and base, how do they react with each other, with metals, with other elements? And that chemistry which we are going to study in this chapter. But what are acids and what are bases? You have eaten lot of things till now. Some are sour to taste, some are bitter to taste, some are very sweet, some are having different type of tastes. Because your taste buds on the tongues are able to analyze that type of taste. But then, how do I know which is acid and which is base? General terms, when we talk about acid, the acid word has come from Latin word, and that means sour taste. Sour taste, when we eat imli, it is sour taste. So that type of sour taste will give us the indication that it is acidic in nature. How to recognize whether the substance given to us is acidic in nature or basic in nature? There are some indicators for that. What are indicators? The traffic signals, what are they telling us? They are indicating us. The person who is traveling in a car or a scooter or a bus, he comes to know when to stop, when to start, when to halt. Same type of indicators are also available where we can come to know whether a substance is acidic or basic, or whether a substance is neutral. When I am using the word neutral, what does it mean? It means that it is neither acidic nor basic. So we are going to learn many types of substances which are acidic in nature, which are basic in nature, and which are neutral in nature, and how to recognize them. As I said, there are some indicators. There are some indicators which are available around us in the surroundings also. There are some fruits, some flowers which have special colors. Like if I say a fruit, beetroot is there, flower, hibiscus flower is there. If I put them in water for some time, I see the color is extracted in the water. Now this colored water coming from the fruit or from the flower acts as an indicator. Even the haldi or the turmeric which we use in our daily life in cooking, that is also an indicator. The best example you must have observed. If you are eating something and your food has fallen on your white shirt, so you get a yellow stain. Now this yellow stain you want to remove. You wash it with soap. Now that yellow color stain turns to reddish in color. Have you observed that? Now why does it happen? Now soap which we are using is basic in nature. So the turmeric is acting as an indicator telling us that the substance which we are using for washing is basic in nature. This is the best example which we see in our life. The fruits and vegetables which we can use as indicators are also called as natural indicators. Just now I said beetroot, then spinach or palak, then hibiscus flowers. These are very common used as indicators. There are some indicators which are synthetic or man-made, like methyl orange, phenolphthalein, eosine. These are the very common synthetic indicators which we are using in the laboratories. You as a student also must be using in your own laboratories. So these are synthetic indicators, and the indicators which are obtained naturally are called as natural indicators. Now there are some indicators which are having very strong smell, and those are called as olfactory indicators. The best example is garlic. Now garlic has a very strong odor. Even the onions, if I cut onions and put it in a cloth, I will get a very strong smell. This smell also indicates whether a substance is acidic or basic in nature. Such type of indicators where we are using their smell, these type of indicators are called as olfactory indicators. So as I said, there are three types of indicators. One is natural indicator, second is synthetic indicator, and third is olfactory indicators. These indicators are only indicating whether a substance is an acidic substance or a basic substance. Very easily we can find out by the color change. Now there is an activity in your book, activity 3.2, which is followed by a table. Now which we have to fill up the table. There some sample is given like vinegar, lime juice, ammonium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid. These are the samples given, and the indicators used are red litmus, blue litmus, phenolphthalein, methyl orange, and then the last column shows what is the nature of the substance. I have said 2 natural indicators and 2 synthetic indicators. When I said natural, the litmus paper or the litmus solution is obtained naturally from lichen, and that lichen actually is a symbiotic relationship between algae and fungi, and this lichen is utilized to prepare a litmus solution. From that litmus solution, a litmus paper also can be made. You must have studied in last class in 9th standard that the blue litmus paper, when it is dipped in acid, it changes to red color, and the red litmus paper, when it is dipped in bases, it changes to blue color. This is an indication that blue color is changing to red. The solution is acidic in nature. The red litmus paper changing to blue, the solution is basic in nature. So the litmus is a natural indicator which we have converted into solution form or paper form. This activity 3.2, as I said, these samples have to be collected and tested with the indicators. Let's make the table and you can write down the blanks there, what color change will happen.